Hidden within the ancient canals of Xochimilco lies an island unlike any other. Covered with hundreds of decaying dolls, it has become one of the most unsettling locations in Mexico. According to legend, the island's strange collection was created to appease the spirit of a young girl who never left. The canals of Xochimilco are among the last remnants of an ancient waterway system that once supported the Aztec capital. Today, visitors travel these waterways to experience a unique piece of Mexican history. Yet one destination stands apart from all the others. Known as La Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of the Dolls, the location appears frozen in time. Hundreds of dolls hang from trees, fences, and buildings. Some are missing limbs, while others stare outward with weathered eyes. For decades, the island was home to Don Julián Santana. Seeking solitude, he left behind much of modern life and settled among the canals. Few could have imagined that his isolated existence would eventually become the center of a world-famous paranormal legend. Life on the island was simple. Don Julián spent his days tending gardens, fishing the canals, and maintaining the property. Far removed from the noise of the city, he embraced a quiet existence surrounded by nature. According to local legend, Don Julián discovered evidence that a young girl had drowned near the island many years earlier. Yet Don Julián reportedly became convinced that her spirit remained connected to the area. Not long after, Don Julián reportedly discovered a discarded doll floating through the canals. Believing it might somehow be connected to the young girl's spirit, he hung the doll from a nearby tree. What began as a single gesture would eventually transform the entire island. As time passed, one doll became several. Don Julián continued collecting discarded dolls from canals and trash heaps. What began with a single doll gradually became an obsession. Trees that once stood empty became crowded with silent faces staring out over the water. As the collection grew, people traveling the canals began taking notice. Fishermen and farmers reported seeing more dolls appear each year. Before long, visitors began sharing unusual stories. Some claimed they felt watched while walking the island's narrow paths. Others reported an overwhelming sense of unease. According to local stories, strange sounds could sometimes be heard after dark. Visitors described whispers, distant voices, and unexplained noises carried through the trees. As years passed, Don Julián devoted increasing amounts of time to maintaining and expanding the collection. To some, his actions reflected deep spiritual conviction. Eventually, hundreds of dolls covered the island. Hanging from trees, buildings, and fences, they transformed the landscape into something surreal. As word spread, journalists and researchers began visiting the island. Photographs of the hanging dolls attracted widespread attention, turning a local curiosity into an international story. By the late 20th century, the Island of the Dolls had become synonymous with paranormal folklore. Visitors left convinced they had visited one of Mexico's most mysterious locations. As more people visited, stories of unusual experiences became common. Some reported feeling watched, while others described sudden feelings of anxiety. Stories emerged of eyes appearing to follow people, heads changing position, and whispers echoing through the trees. No evidence supported these claims, yet they became central to the legend. As he grew older, Don Julián remained committed to the island. He continued caring for the dolls and maintained his belief that the spirit of the young girl remained nearby. In 2001, Don Julián was found deceased in a canal near the island, close to where he had long claimed the young girl had drowned. The circumstances fueled further speculation. Following his death, researchers examined the island's history. While many details could be documented, others remained rooted in local folklore, leaving many questions unanswered. Skeptics argue that the island's unsettling atmosphere influences perception. Others view the entire legend as a powerful example of folklore evolving over time. Today, the Island of the Dolls attracts visitors from around the world. Despite decades of attention, the island remains as unusual and unsettling as ever. Preserving the legacy of Don Julián, was it simply the work of an isolated man? Or was there something more to the stories he believed? Whatever the truth may be, the island remains one of the world's most enduring paranormal mysteries,